traffic heading toward Knightsbridge. "I think the Artemis considers itself as more than a casino. I've heard about those rules. They don't want too many people there at any one time, and don't want a lot of cars crowding the driveway." "I hope there's no secret handshake involved," she said, "because we don't know it." Robbie laughed as he lifted his hand to the panel, thinking it would have been easier for Eurydice to find her way back from the underworld if she just flagged down a black cab instead of waiting around for Orpheus. Strange to think of this couple in those terms. Orpheus right down into the underworld to bring her back. Robbie just had the feeling this man would do it, for her. The man tapped on the panel and Robbie opened it again. "You can find this place with just the name." "I can, sir, yes." "You don't have a GPS, though." Robbie rolled his eyes. "No, sir, we don't need those." "That's astonishing. Cab drivers in Manhattan, you've got to be able to tell them the nearest cross street to your destination. Once I asked the driver to take me to the Waldorf, and he'd said, in that grumpy way New York drivers talk, 'What's a cross street?' Can you beat that?" The woman said, "I've always been amazed at how you drivers know this city." Robbie was amazed at her amazement. Her accent said she was a Brit, but his was American, definitely. What kind of service were Americans used to? New York. How could you drive around a city and know it so little? What fun was that, to be a stranger in your own hometown? Now, having driven away from the Artemis Club, the black cab was in Old Broad Street in the city, the bloke in the back with a gun in his hand. Robbie tried to be cool. It wasn't easy. "If you could tell me your destination?" "When I need to tell you, I will. Drive." All right, then. He'd drive to some congested area in the West End, Charing Cross or Piccadilly, hoping that might give him an opportunity. The quickest route would be to go around Bank and head down Walbrook to Upper Thames Street, then to the Embankment, a route he had no intention of taking. This guy wouldn't know the difference. Wherever Robbie was going, he wasn't going in a hurry. At this hour on a Friday night, the closest, most congested area would be Piccadilly, from Green Park past the Ritz to Piccadilly Circus and Shaftesbury Avenue with its theatres. So he decided to head in that direction. But first he snaked around and came out on the A40, which he drove along to Holborn Viaduct. In another few minutes he made a right into Snow Hill. There he slowed down a bit as he looked around for police cars, but all he saw of police presence was a couple of uniforms coming out of the Snow Hill station. All of the police in the city should have been alerted by now. Carefully, he switched his bright lights on and off, and saw the coppers stop and turn and recede into the distance. The radio was out of commission, of course. The man had seen to that. "That was a police station back there." "Yes, sir. There's 3,000 of them in London. Hard not to come on one." The guy moved to one of the jump seats just behind Robbie, stuck the gun through the open panel again, and said, "Try." Robbie said nothing. He heard the weight shift back to the passenger seat. "Where are you headed?" the man asked. "West End." "Why?" "As you haven't given me an address, I'm just driving, as you said." The man merely grunted. Jesus, thought Robbie. 20 minutes before, Robbie had pulled into the half-moon driveway of the Artemis Club and up to the front door, quite free of other vehicles. You'd have thought the Artemis never had customers, from the lack of cars. That was undoubtedly because patrons were told when they could come, and also because attendants took the cars and drove them to whatever car park the club paid for. Robbie had braked and was sliding open the glass panel when he was surprised to see an overweight woman in orange coming up the drive, her car possibly having been commandeered by one of the attendants. She was huffing up to the front door. "Is this it?" said the beautiful wife. "Yes, it is. You'd never know, would you?" Very